Hello, and welcome to History's Turning Point. I am your host, Sir Historious, and today we're journeying back to ancient Greece. When you think of ancient Greece, you might picture one massive, unified empire. But the reality was far more fragmented. It was a collection of fiercely independent city-states, or palaeus, like Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and Thebes. But why wasn't it one single nation? The answer is written right on the map. The key lies in its geography. Greece is a land of mountains, rugged coastlines, and countless islands. About 80% of the mainland is mountainous. These aren't just rolling hills. We're talking about formidable mountain ranges like the Pindus, which runs down the spine of the country. These mountains acted as natural walls, carving the land into small, isolated valleys and plains. For the early Greek communities settling in these valleys, the mountains on all sides made communication and travel with their neighbors incredibly difficult. Imagine trying to build a road or lead an army over a steep, rocky mountain pass. It was a monumental challenge. As a result, communities developed in relative isolation from one another. This isolation was the perfect breeding ground for unique local identities. Each valley, each plain, became its own little world. Over time, these isolated settlements grew into self-governing city-states, each with its own government, its own laws, its own army, and even its own patron god or goddess. An Athenian considered themselves an Athenian first and a Greek second. The same was true for a Spartan or a Corinthian. Their primary loyalty was to their polis, their home city. This fierce independence and local pride, known as parochialism, was a direct consequence of being separated by the terrain. While the mountains divided the Greeks on land, the sea united them. Greece has one of the longest coastlines in the world relative to its size, dotted with natural harbors. The Aegean, Ionian, and Mediterranean seas were their highways. The Greeks became master sailors and traders out of necessity. The land was often rocky and not always fertile enough to support a growing population, so they looked to the sea for resources and opportunities. They established vast trade networks, connecting with other city-states and civilizations across the Mediterranean. This maritime connection allowed for the exchange of goods, like olive oil and pottery, but also for the exchange of ideas, philosophy, art, and political theories spread from port to port. The sea connected them, but it didn't erase the deep-seated independence that the mountains had forged. So, how did this geography shape their politics and warfare? The independent nature of the city-states meant there was no single, central government. Instead, Greece became a laboratory for political experimentation. We see the birth of democracy in Athens, the militaristic oligarchy of Sparta, and various forms of tyranny and monarchy elsewhere. This political diversity was a direct result of each polis developing its own solutions to governance in isolation. When it came to warfare, battles were often fought between neighboring city-states over fertile plains or strategic resources. Armies were typically composed of citizen soldiers called hoplites, fighting to defend their own land. The famous phalanx formation was perfectly suited for battles on the flat plains between mountain ranges. This unique geographical setup had a profound and lasting impact. The competition and sometimes conflict between city-states fueled incredible innovation in philosophy, art, theater, and science, the so-called Golden Age of Greece. Think of the rivalry between Athens and Sparta, which pushed both to their limits and ultimately led to the Peloponnesian War. The very landscape of Greece programmed a civilization defined by division, rivalry, and a fierce love of independence. It wasn't just about maps and mountains. It was about how the land itself forged a people and a history that would go on to shape the entire Western world. So, here's a question for you. Which city-state do you think geography favored most? Was it seafaring Athens with its powerful navy and access to trade? Or landlocked Sparta, protected by mountains and focused on military might? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy history explained clearly, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss another journey into the past with me, Sir Historious. Thanks for watching.